over. I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire him right on this.
This was US President Donald Trump and his warning to fire top military officials on the spot. But can he actually do that? Trump's latest remarks have sparked off yet another controversy, this time a constitutional showdown over the military. At a rare gathering of America's top generals and admirals in Quantico, Virginia, President Donald Trump delivered a stunning warning. He intends to fire senior officers who oppose his agenda. Standing beside him, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth turned up the pressure, telling commanders to do the honorable thing and resign if they disagree.
And I see great Americans, leaders who have given decades to our great republic, at great sacrifice to yourselves and to your families. But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign. We would thank you for your service. The military has been forced by foolish and reckless politicians to focus on the wrong things. In many ways, this speech is about fixing decades of decay. Some of it obvious, some of it hidden. Or as the chairman has put it, we are clearing out the debris.
The event, part pep rally, part policy rollout, drew hundreds of military leaders from around the globe. Trump told them bluntly,
"Do anything you want, and if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future."
Veterans didn't take the disrespect and have hit back at Trump administration for the remarks, especially Pete Hegseth, who has earlier faced scrutiny over his appointment as Trump's defense secretary.
We'll see how long he's SecDef. I think he's already lasted, longer than many people thought. So, but it's a real shame. My heart really goes out to the people who are still serving because they really deserve so much better leadership than they're getting right now out of their commander-in-chief and their secretary of defense. And that's sort of like, my bottom line takeaway from today's, incident, which seemed a little bit like a school assembly that we flew people in across the globe.
Democrats erupted, calling the comments authoritarian. California Governor Gavin Newsom accused Trump of treating U.S. troops as political pawns. Republicans, however, praised the speech as a long overdue restoration of discipline. But beyond the politics lies the law. Article 2 of the Constitution does name the President as Commander-in-Chief, giving broad powers to direct military strategy and remove officers from specific commands. Harry Truman famously relieved General Douglas MacArthur during the Korean War. Yet Congress also holds sweeping authority under Article 3, with power to regulate the armed forces. The Uniform Code of Military Justice requires that commissioned officers may only be dismissed by court-martial, by presidential commutation, or in time of war. And what counts as war under US law remains unsettled. And that raises the biggest question of all: what counts as war? Without a formal declaration by Congress, Trump's threat to remove generals outright could trigger a constitutional clash that lands before the Supreme Court. At the heart of it all is the military oath, sworn not to any president, but to the Constitution of the United States. Trump's fiery words at Quantico aren't just about military loyalty. They are about the limits of presidential power and a test of the fragile balance between America's armed forces and its democracy.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.